Good afternoon, boys and girls, and welcome to the eastern wing of the Stinkbug Works. In front of you is the next project. Now, some of you will recognize this right off the bat. Some of you may be scratching your head going, what the? Well, what is Dr. Jet doing? He's got wood made out of wood parts from genuine die-crushed plywood and a plethora of die-crushed parts in various thicknesses of plywood and something that vaguely resembles mahogany. More on that later. Or more on that later. You know, after building a bunch of my little laser cut kits, this is quite the difference. To say it's crude is close, but what this is this is the Dumas, or if you're French, Dumas, the Dumas Skedaddle Jr. Now, this boat was originally powered with an 049 motor, 049 engine, and it was kitted probably in the 1950s. So this is probably a 75-year-old kit, which is why it has die-crushed parts and not precision labor cut parts. I mean, look at these gaps here. I mean, I could park my car in the gap for that. But it'll all get filled up with epoxy and Cabosil, so I'm not too concerned about it. This is not going to be a boat built for speed. This is going to be very much on the vein of, I know most of you watch Big B's channel as well, and if you remember his Sport Fisher, it was not designed to go fast. It was designed to go and look like something, and it did that very well. It went and it looked like something, and that's my plan for this. Now, one thing about this model has always annoyed me. Do I have a picture of it? No, I don't have a picture of it. But when you see a picture of it, it's just got this big empty chamber from this bulkhead to this bulkhead. This whole area is just open, and an 049 engine sticks up through there. Now, some of my viewers, Brandon, for example, did something really clever. He took an 049 engine and took the piston and the crank out and wallered around inside of it to where he could put a brushless motor and coupler inside this dummy gas engine, nitro engine, and it looked like the old timers, you know, except it was electric powered. I want to do something different. This open area, like I said, has always bothered me. I want to make a dummy interior, which is one reason why I'm thinking of this, because it's so flat. I want to make a dummy interior that will just, you know, when the boat's right side up, can just kind of drop in there. And it may only be the seat backs and then painted black and a dashboard with half a steering wheel in it. But at least it'll look like it has people inside, and maybe I'll even get a figure, an action figure, to put in it to make it look like it has a driver. So that's my plans. Now, here's a couple of other things too. I'm thinking about just using this, and as I'm starting to look at where it fits, you know, it's going to fit here. I'm going to have to do this on this stringer. See if I can take it out without making this whole thing fall apart. On this stringer, I want to cut it off from the bottom of this slot to the bottom of that slot. Just cut it off like that. And then this, the gearbox, can sit down low on that. And so it'll be right down as low as I can possibly get it. Now what I want is, you see it's got these they're servo grommets. I want to be able to just stick bolts up from the floor, and I'll put them in a block of wood or something, but they'll be sticking up that this can just drop down and with 4 nuts attach it. So that's my plan. I'm going to cut this to lower that. Now, here's some more thinking. See, it's a thinking man's game, and I'm sharing thoughts with you so that when you're thinking about doing your thing, you can go, oh, I remember Jet, and he did something similar. So this right here is a little bit longer than I need. Actually, from the back of the motors to here is just wasted space. So this is a piece out of a Huey gear drive. This is a piece out of a Huey single gear drive. And the bolt spacing here is exactly the same. So I was thinking about using this to shorten things up. Only problem is the spacing in between here is exactly the same as the spacing on these stringers. So after everything was glued up, I'd have to cut the stringers, put in a block that has a bolt sticking through it, and go that way. I may do that. That might work real well. Or the other thing I was thinking about is just cut a notch in here and a notch in here, and so all that's happening is that much will be sticking up and the rest of this will all go away, and then I just turn that piece around and that would be that. This bearing would now be here, and the whole point of doing that is I want to put the motors in facing this direction and drive right off the gear end. That way I can put the motor as far forward, because that's where the gas motor went. It went right up against this bulkhead. So I want these motors sitting right here like that. And if I left the gears and such, it would push everything back. So I'm just going to have the butt end be the butt end, and we'll drive everything off the drive end. So that's my plan there. Whether I go this way or flip this one remains to be seen. This has some things that do appeal to me, but what I'll have to do is basically build the boat and then cut out a small section here of this stringer. But if you remember, this stringer is only going to be 1/4 of an inch thick. So cutting out of 1/4 of an inch in this rather generous opening won't be that difficult. So there you go. That's my preliminary plan. One thing I noticed, first thing you have to do is double your transom. So I just got it out of the press and the autoclave. So I just got it out of the press, and I noticed that these stringers back here actually twist a little bit. So as I'm gluing this thing up, I may neglect gluing this one joint and allow the twist to go up to this joint. We'll just have to see. I may glue this thing in and then just allow the twist to go over that like the original plan, because this isn't that much of an angle off of level, but you do have to take that into account. So there you go. I'm doing some preliminary thinking and looking at it and doing some preliminary planning, but that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this base, cut little notches out of there, and what I'll do is I'll take this block of wood and cut it into a square cross section, and then put a bolt in it and cut a slit big enough to put that in there. And then I'll just bolt all these little things up to this and then drop that in and epoxy it in place. Bingo. That way everything will line up. When I pull it out, it'll be ready to rock and roll. So there you go. That's my thinking on the Skedaddle, the Skedaddle Junior. I'm going to put in a dummy interior. I might even put like a dummy windshield on it and have like a dummy dashboard. And here's another thing. This mahogany. Now, when I got it, it was cracked along here. You can see where I epoxied it and blended it in and such. But you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking everybody and their brother has one of these things, and they're all mahogany. Why don't I do this? Why don't I build it and then skin it with a veneer of some, really cool looking wood? And then, did you see what I did? I just broke it where it was broken. Well, see, I'm going to put a veneer over that, and that'll help hold it together. Well, isn't that just the Shinola? Well, I'm going to have to get out some epoxy. I'm going to epoxy coat all these parts before I glue them together, just so I can get epoxy in the places that I normally wouldn't be able to reach. So we'll do a pre-coat of epoxy, build it, epoxy it again, and it's going to have some epoxy and Cavasil, let me tell you. Well, boys and girls, there it is, the next project. And I already broke it again. It came broken, genuine die-crushed parts. Until next time, boys and girls, jut out. Good morning, boys and girls. We've moved over here to the southern wing of the Stinkbug Works for a little bonus feature on today's video. Earlier, I mentioned I was going to cut this gear drive down. That's exactly what I've done, but it's still too big. There's still too much distance from the back of this motor to the edge of this gear drive. If we look at this plan, this cross section in here, if I put the back of this leg up against this bulkhead here, it pushes the drive shaft too far this way and makes the angle of the prop shaft much steeper. So I've got to have this back further. If I could get the back end of these motors almost, but not quite, touching this bulkhead, it will give me much better alignment into this drive shaft. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to go to the carbon fiber plate with the carbon fiber tube gear drive arrangement and somehow put like this has a little 90 on it that I could bolt it down here. I could put a little ring. I'm thinking of putting a little wooden ring, like a donut, on this bulkhead that would just hold the carbon fiber tube. It wouldn't attach to anything. It would just keep it from moving around. So all your strength would be here, but this would just kind of prevent that kind of movement. So It looks like we're going to be cutting carbon fiber, drawing up stuff in AutoCAD. And, you know, I thought about moving the motor up here, but then there's no way to access anything. Another thing, when they designed this here boat, the only thing, I mean, it was 1950 or something. They only really had Arctura props to choose from, and Arctura props were mostly surface running props. Now that we have the eco-class boats, there's a whole selection of underwater props to choose from. And they also have an underwater drive that levels out here. I may just use that. I put that on one of my eco boats, the larger one. That would be the H&M Firefly, and it runs real well. And so I may consider that. The instructions for this boat talk about moving the propeller forward and aft to lighten the bow. Moving the prop forward takes this lift vector from the prop and moves it forward. And so that, you know, you got less of a lever arm over your CG to keep the bow down. So by moving the prop, you could get the bow up or down just by that little adjustment. I'm not going to do that. I have big, heavy batteries that I can move around to achieve the same goal. So we shall see what happens there. But I'm half tempted to run the prop level down here using that 10-shock flex drive. The problem is it still comes out at this angle and angle here, and I want this motor as low as possible that I can put a dummy interior in here. We'll just have to see. I'll get the thing framed up. I'll trim out the stringers to get this thing as low as I can, and we'll just wing it. We'll design it as we go. So there you go, just a quick little update on what I talked about earlier. I have this cool little gear drive, but I'm going to make one out of carbon. Don't forget, the 2S challenge. First place prize will be your choice between this or an Atlas kit or a short circuit kit, or what was the other thing? Oh, I've got those blue boat hulls out there, the Cobra M450 hull. One of them is complete with all the running gear. So there's all kinds of cool prizes. I don't hear from a lot of guys entering the challenge. I'll just have to keep all the prizes for myself. Until next time, boys and girls, jet out.